And Bodie left, so I'm not going to play his favorite song.
I was thinking you were going to play it next, but he'll be back up, I'm sure.
Maybe a song about my uncle, now that I've sung one about my aunt. My Uncle Charlie was my favorite uncle growing up. He was a cowboy. Still is. He's 86 now and doesn't get around too well anymore. But we just, on the way out here, we drove past the ranch that I spent the summer with his family on when I was about 10 years old. And it was real interesting because it looks a whole lot smaller now than it did then. Yeah. But Uncle Charlie was quite a character, still is. He was one of the strongest people I think that I've ever met in my life, just physically strong. He could pick stuff up like bales of hay and throw them over his head and land square on the truck and do that for hours and hours and hours and hours. And, you know, he was just this big burly guy, and it's been really interesting to watch him age and get smaller. But he was my hero growing up, and I couldn't think of anybody that I admired more. Now that I'm a little bit older, I can kind of see him through some different eyes, but back then I really idolized him. So this song is a little bit of a tribute. Uncle Charlie taught me how to ride. Bought the only rope I ever owned. He always wears a Stetson, except when he's inside. He's the only real cowboy I've known. He's got 40 acres south of Jackson Hole. Lately he's been tempted to sell. You see, the dude ranch next door needs another 18 holes. His slice of heaven is on the road to hell. Now he drives a school bus instead of riding fences. The ranches don't hire old hands anymore. He's got a line on his face for every calf he's branded, and a past due account at the feed store. As long as he's living, he'll be living the cowboy way. Lord, it's hard to be a cowboy these days. He don't chew tobacco anymore. Ever since he heard it gives you cancer, he's still got a ring on the pocket of his jeans. He's getting too old for taking foolish chances. He don't care much for the hat boys out in Nashville, and so he drives a truck with a broke down radio. Still gets a taste of glory every Friday, pulling shoots at the late night rodeo. As long as he's living, he'll be living